Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Corey, and today at Stoa Pokili, we are going to be discussing another daily quote. Today's quote is by Epictetus in Enchiridion 1. There are things that are within our power and things that fall outside of our power. So, what is he talking about in this? Let me grab my book here so I can go into a little bit more detail about this, okay? So, there are things that are within our power and things that fall outside our power. Within our power are our own opinions, aims, desires, dislikes, and some our own thoughts and actions. Outside our power are our physical characteristics, the class into which we were born, our reputation in the eyes of others, and honors and offices that may be bestowed upon us. So, again, this is my copy of the Enchiridion. It's called The Manual, A Philosopher's Guide to Life. You can get it on Amazon for like $9. But anyway, so what is he talking about? So he's talking about, obviously I know there are certain things where this can apply, like people with intrusive thoughts or mental issues or, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you can, it still holds true. So you choose how you take your lease on life. You choose all of that. I know people who have had everything that could go wrong since childhood go wrong, and they still ended up making it out of their situation because of their lease on life. I think it's important to understand what you can control and what you can't control. Basically, what you control, as he said, everything that's within your power is stuff like you. You control how you act. You control what you think. You control who you are, what you do. That's it. Now, you may have the best of intentions. You may say, "Oh, I'm going to go and adopt all these dogs." That's great, but if you don't have the money to take care of it, that's not great. But again, you can't control others' opinions of you. You can't control outside events. You can't control what other people think about you, or whether or not you were born into a poor family or a rich family. Back in their day, it would have been a class. You were either born a slave, you were born a commoner, you were born a noble, or you were born into a royal family, stuff like that. And I think it's important to note with Stoicism, what makes it so unique is the fact that it was accessible to everyone. A lot of times we think of philosophy as this stuff for academics, but that's really not the case. I mean, I picked it up pretty easily as far as like understanding material. Practice is a whole nother thing, but understanding the material, and I'm a high school dropout. So there are, it's important to note that Epictetus was a slave, a freed slave, but a slave nonetheless. His name literally means purchased. So Epictetus was purchased as a baby and raised during the time of Nero. And for any of my history buffs out there who know who Nero is, that was a pretty bad time. But then you have Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, labeled the last of the 5 great emperors. So you have an emperor and a slave both practicing the exact same philosophy, taking away the same thing and using it to better themselves. So I feel like Epictetus, of all the people that write about Stoicism in our modern time or ancient times, has the best understanding of it, and his books are really worth reading, or his book is really worth reading. So in this, think about it. Think as the week goes on, as your life goes on, think about what's in your control and what's not in your control. You get cut off. That's not in your control. You can't control that somebody decided to, drive wrong and cut you off. However, you can control not flipping them off and acting like a lunatic because of that. And it might save your life. I had a buddy of mine I used to work with. He got cut off and acted like a lunatic in road rage. They all pulled over, and he got the shit kicked out of him by 2 really big guys. Could have avoided it if he just let it go. You can't control what happens, only how you react to what happens. That's the main thing to take away. You got fired, you can't control that you got fired. What can you control? Not letting it, get you down. Not saying, "Oh man, I got fired, this sucks." No, hit the ground running. Find another job. There's plenty of them out there. You get divorced or separated, It's sad. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's not sad. Take your time to mourn the dead relationship, but hit the ground running. Better yourself. Maybe you weren't the problem. Maybe they were the problem, but it's still sad. Still, none of us are perfect. We can all better ourselves. So take what Epictetus says here and run with it. Think about every situation that comes into your day, into your life. Think about what part of that is in your control and what part isn't. And you'll soon find out that a lot of what you get mad about isn't in your control, but your reaction to it is. And on that, I'm gonna leave y'all on that. And I hope everyone had a wonderful day, and stay tuned for updates on when I have a Discord up and running. And yeah, I hope everyone had a wonderful day. Bye now.